Good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 4 of our 1979 DRM Division 2 series, coming to you from the Norisring. I am Jason White. I'll be your play-by-play announcer for this race. The drivers are in their warm-up period right now, getting used to full fuel loads. Let me give you the top 10 in qualifying as time expired. On the pole, Grant Rudall with a time of 53.175 seconds. In second place is Dad, Ray Rudall, only 0.2 of a second back. Third, Cesarius Lipinski. Fourth, Nicholas Kirsten. Fifth, Anders Nilsson. Sixth, Richard Wilkes. Seventh, David Saber. Eighth, Ricardo Mendez. Ninth, Alberto Aquino. And 10th, Juha Boss. Those are the top 10 in qualifying for today's Norisring Trophy, the fourth round in our DRM Division 2 Series 1979 edition. So, this is the Norisring. We've raced here many times before. It's a very, very simple course, but by no means easy. This is a circuit that sort of runs around a city center sort of a situation. It's got all right-hand turns except for one. Left-hand turns. All left-hand turns but one right-hand turn. And there's a little bit of room off of the racing line on cobblestones. Not really cobblestones, but like gridded concrete. But in any case, there is one really fast way around the course, and that is to get as close to the barriers as you physically can. And I know that a lot of people are going to be trying to do that. The one place that is obviously going to be the easiest place to pass is going to be in turn 1 on the far right. Another good place to pass, of course, is in the slightly more open hairpin at the end of the lap, or just before the end of the lap, on the left-hand portion of the circuit there. So, the problem, though, is that if you get the car too deep into either of those hairpins, you could overcook things, come in too hot, and it could be a problem, especially in the second hairpin, because there's barriers there. The first hairpin after the start-finish line is a little bit more open. So if you make a mistake, you can run wide and not hit anything. But you'll probably lose a lot of positions in the process, so that's definitely something to think about. Our drivers will be going for 44 laps, and that equates to... Hang on 1 second here, sorry. That equates to 101.2 kilometers, 44 times around the circuit. So it's a short lap, 2.3 kilometers, so the race should go fairly quickly, even with 44 laps. Let's take a look at the point standings going into today's round number 4. Anders Nilsson is in the lead with 47 points. Ray Rudall is in second with 23. Cesarius Lipinski is third with 20. Grant Rudall fourth with 20. And fifth is Richard Wilkes with 19 points. Reminding you of the point scheme in this series. Division 2 point scheme. We have 20 points for first, 15 for second, 12 for third, 10 for fourth, 8 for fifth, 6 for sixth, 4 for seventh, 3 for eighth, 2 for ninth, and 1 for 10th place. That's the last points paying position. To be classified, drivers must cross the start-finish line after the winner has finished the race, because otherwise they will not score points. Best 9 results in this series will count towards each driver's championship total. So why don't we head out on the circuit now and see if we can find somebody who can give us a ride around here and get us an idea of what the Norisring is like. As I've said, we have raced here before, but always good to have a reminder of just how nutty this place can be. Some drivers entering the pits here. All right, well, here's Brian Janik and his Lotus. Let's have a look and see what's going on here. Brian exits the last turn now and heads over the start-finish line right about now. heading to the right to get in the right line. Now he's downshifting for the first hairpin, hauling the car to a stop, rounding the corner. Opposite lock, accelerating now towards the right-left combination. So you're really trying to maintain your momentum through here and get as close to the barriers as you can. There's that concrete strip I was talking about. Accelerating once again. Now downshifting for the hairpin here, and you can hear how much the brakes are working there just to get the car stopped. Now heading into another lap here, fading a bit to the left here at the entrance to the pit lane. And then here's the start-finish line. So it's pretty simple, actually, when you get down to it. Let's have a look at the lap from an exterior point of view. Brian Janik storming down the front straightaway in his Esprit. And here's a elevated shot here to show you the hairpin. He runs a bit wide on this occasion. You want to try to get as close to you as you can to the inside there and then swing out. And here he comes now to turn number 2, which is a right-hander, the only right-hander for this circuit. And now back to the left. See how close he's getting there to that wall, using every inch of the track that he can. Heading now down towards a slight right-hander. And then back onto the main straight after that hairpin. And that's one lap there of the Norisring. There should be a lot of close quarters action, especially early on tonight, with the, and it's definitely going to be a BMW and Ford war here, especially the Capris, I would think. But we'll see what happens. This is going to be a really interesting race, I think. People have to be pushing their cars to the absolute limit in order to make overtakes, and some of these cars definitely taking advantage of the silhouette design scheme and the liberties you can take with the fenders. There's David Yunt's really extreme 2002. And he does a really good job there of rounding the turn, just hitting the inside there right near the curb and then swinging out to make the turn as long as he can and therefore as fast as he can. Here's another great shot from above, heading into the right-left combination. He did a good job there, too, of keeping the car on the correct line. So coming up at ISO, just for those of you who are curious, the next race is going to be on Sunday, March 9th. It is the PPG IndyCar World Series, round number 3 of 15, the Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200, presented by Texaco. Again, that's at Sunday, March 9th, green flag at 2000 CET. Nick, that should be broadcast by Jonathan. An interesting series so far, and Portland is certainly a very interesting track. So watch for that one. And then later on, we have another race for the DRM series. It is going to be the ADAC Trophy Zandvoort. So first time that we're going to be racing outside of Germany with this series. Round number 5 of 11. Sunday, March 16th. And that starts at 2000 CET. And I will have coverage of that for you. Trivia question for you to ponder. Who holds the Group 5 race lap record for the 2.300 kilometer version of the Norisring? Is it A, Rolf Stommelen, B, Mark Schurer, or is it C, Hans Heyer? Well, the answer later on for you in the broadcast. So we got about 2 minutes to go here until we start the race. And pretty much everybody at the front of the field here are in turbocharged cars. So the turbos once again are reigning supreme. And it's going to be a question really of who's setting up their car the best, who can handle the these very tight corners the best and get the car to turn in the best. who is able to stick their nose underneath someone and take the line away at just the right time. That's really what's going to determine who's going to do well in this race. These elevated shots, too, are going to be very useful in the, especially at the start of the race. I'll try to get us an elevated shot so that we can see what's going on here, because it really gives you a good idea of the entire field as they come through. They're jockeying for a position. We're looking at Nilsson now from a very elevated point of view, taking advantage of that strip of concrete off to the right. I guess I was wrong. Now that I think about it, there are two left-handers, if you think about it, on this track. Yeah, there's the one that leads to the hairpin there, and there's the other one that's... oh, wait, what am I thinking about? No, I was talking about... Let's see. Yeah, there are two left-handers, yeah. There's the one that's the little fade. It's easy to forget about it, that gets to the second hairpin. And then there's the one that leads into the right-left combination. So you have two right-handers is what I'm trying to say, but not saying very well. My apologies. Silly me. All right, so we should be going racing sooner or later here. Checkered flag. Give me 1 minute here. I want to make an adjustment to my graphics. Okay, that should work. Good. Just a minute, and we'll be ready to go. Oops. All right, so let's take a look very quickly at our drivers for this series. And where they line up on the pole is Grant Riddall, D&W Team Zach Speed. Second is Ray Riddall, his dad. Third, Cesarius Lipinski. Fourth, Nicholas Kirsten. Fifth, Anders Nilsson. Sixth, Richard Wilkes. Seventh, David Saber. Eighth, Ricardo Mendez. Ninth, Alberto Aquino. 10th, Juha Boss. 11th, Liam Dolan. 12th, David Watman. 13th, David Yunt. 14th, Tim Hilla. 15th, Simon Watman. 16th, Giovanni Santarami. 17th, Jonathan Eiserklinth. 18th, Brian Janik. 19th, K.O. McKeels. 20th, Jules Bouchard. 21st, Matthew Sibignani. 22nd, Claudio Augusto. 23rd, Nick Holiday. And rounding out the field in 24th, in the Lotus Europa is Bruno Chacon. So here they come off of the last turn, and they should be gritting up right now, getting ready for the race. And hopefully they'll get a green flag to start here when the clock goes. and the race is underway. Heading down into turn number 1 is Grant Riddall. He got a good jump on his dad. Here's Cesarius looking up the inside, but it appears that that's not going to work for him. There's 3 wide coming into that corner there for a second. A little bit like bumper cars, but it appears everybody's going to get through okay. Everyone jostling for a position here. Oh, goodness, we got a piece missing from someone's car. Somebody's already lost a front splitter. And heading now into the last turn, it is Grant Riddall leading. Nicholas Kirsten up to 2nd place. Ray Riddall down to 3rd. Slapinski 4th. Nilsson 5th. Boss is up to 6th place. David Saber 7th. Richard Wilkes is 8th. 9th is Ricardo Mendez, and 10th is Liam Dolan. Taking another look here at the hairpin situation, you can see the cars heading into the hairpin. There's Grant exiting there. Let's see if everybody gets through the hairpin a second time okay. The cars are starting to spread out a bit. Oh my goodness, somebody running very wide there, but it appears everybody's going to get through unscathed. Everyone really has to drift through this corner. Oh, it's David Yunt who was missing that piece. So David Yunt is going to have to go for the pits and get a new splitter put in, a new front wing, because I doubt he's going to be able to drive with the car being that way for very long, because the car is just going to be plowing in every single corner. But 2 laps down now, or actually now we're on lap 4. It's been going really fast already. Grant leading, Kirsten 2nd, Ray Riddall is 3rd, Slapinski 4th, Nilsson 5th. Exiting that hairpin, there's Grant leading this group. Still very tight action back here, spreading out a tiny bit, but not too much. I see, so 1 lap was run off as a pace lap, and then the rest of them are race laps. There's Grant. Arriving now at the hairpin one more time. There's a view inside of Grant's car. My goodness, he almost loses the back end there, trying to get through there quickly, but he's... Oh, and David Yunt is out of the race, so apparently he figured he was too far behind and there was no point in continuing, but he's out. Nilsson running in 5th place. The rest of these cars coming through. Here they come. Looks like Ray is starting to mount some kind of a challenge on Kirsten here. But he's also got Slapinski right with him, so he can't afford to... Look at Ray there. He's poking his nose down on the inside of Kirsten there. So Ray might be looking to make some kind of an attack here at some point. Riding on board with Ray now. You can see Kirsten just ahead. And he decides not to take any kind of an attack line through that corner, but he's going to... definitely have to keep an eye on his mirror there up on the right, because you can see Slapinski right with him. There's another piece. Somebody's lost another piece of bodywork. So Definitely not a track where you want to lose downforce on, because you need it to get through these turns as quickly as possible. It is David Sabre who's lost a piece, it appears. And no, actually, that piece belongs to the Lotus Esprit of Janik. Interesting. Ray still looking for the way around Kirsten, but Kirsten now is starting to get closer to Grant, it appears. Downshifting for the hairpin. Grant lighting up the tires there. Accelerate now, hard out of the hairpin. Into second turn. Right. Left. And now into the slight fade to the right. And then downshifting for the second hairpin. These drivers are very evenly matched at the front in terms of skill level and in terms of what the car can do. Things looking pretty status quo back here. Uh-oh, it appears there's another person who's lost a front piece. It is Matthew Sibignani and David Sabre both. And they apparently are just going to soldier on with this damage. I suppose they figure they have to do that, because if they go into pits, they're going to be laps down due to the nature of the circuit. But my goodness, driving without a front end like that, or a front wing for lap after lap, has got to be tiring and frustrating. And it's definitely going to put more pressure on the front tires to do their job. So, difficult situation for these drivers, to say the least. Yeah, there's several people who've lost front ends here, which is too bad, because it effectively makes you uncompetitive most of the way. Now here's Bruno Chacon running in 21st, and 22nd is Jules Bouchard. This is interesting. We don't see many battles involving the Lotus Europa too much, but here comes Jules trying to find a way. Whoa, he's got to bring the car to a stop here. He's on the inside of the Lotus here, but I don't think he's going to be able to get alongside. But yeah, it's a Lotus Europa underneath all that extra bodywork. Sponsored by Minolta cameras. It doesn't look anything like a normal Europa because of the Group 5 rules about increasing wheel track, but these two look like they're having a pretty spirited run here. Back to the front now. Grant still in the lead. Kirsten is in second. And they're actually closing on the back of the field now, so I figured that'd be happening sooner or later. Grant, Nicholas Kirsten. Kirsten had an interesting look on the outside there, but not really much to do with it. Exiting the hairpin, coming up now towards the second turn. Ray Riddall starting to struggle to hold on. So is Anders Nilsson. They're starting to drop back a little bit. Look at that, though. That's a pretty good battle right there. Juha Boss and that's Mendez. Mendez and Juha having a pretty good battle right here. Mendez looking to find a way around Juha, but not going to be able. Oh, he actually clipped the barrier there slightly. I don't think that's going to be too bad for him. He didn't lose any body work, and I think it was just a really quick little glance on the wall. I think he should be all right. And then there's another battle going on behind this group, which is Richard Wilkes and Liam Dolan. Here comes Mendez up the inside, trying to take Juha Boss, but can't get it done. And look at that right there. There's Dolan getting alongside Wilkes, and he's able to squeeze through. But of course, Wilkes is in the better place for the turn that's upcoming. Is Dolan going to be able to hold on to the position? The answer is Yes, actually, he holds onto it on the outside, so great driving by Dolan there. He did kind of muscle his way onto the inside there, but was able to maintain the position after the fact. So a lot of really interesting, oh, Johnny Aces is out of the race, that's too bad. So a lot of good racing going on in this pack here, particularly. As the Mendez and Boss scrap is cooled off for the moment. But these guys coming through here in these 320s are having a very interesting race. Dolan once again. Oh, Wilkes got back by, so Dolan's going to try to get him again here. Looking on the outside, more parts and pieces. So some people are overcooking it coming into that corner and knocking the front end off of their cars. Heading into the right-left combination. This group very tightly bunched together. Nothing's changed at the front. Still, Grant Riddall, who's leading. Nicholas Kirsten second. Cesare Lipinski third. Ray Riddall has run off the track. What was that? I'm not sure what that was about. Let's look at a replay here. Oh, Ray had lost his front end, and then he basically, I think he just pulled off the track because he was like, well, he lost it. He had lost a wheel, I believe. Had he lost a wheel already before he got there? Let's have a look. Yes, he had lost a wheel. So the question becomes, when did this actually occur? When did this accident take place? Yeah, he's actually on three wheels right there. So he's already had some kind of a problem. Oh, this happened all the way back at the hairpin. So Ray had some kind of an accident. Probably overcooked it going into the corner, but let's have a look. Yeah, here are the parts and pieces. It looks like it happened on it. He did it on his own. He just nosed into the barrier. That's way too bad. Man, so that's the third retirement in this race. Grant still leads. Nicholas Kirsten second. Shlapinski third. Now Nilsson is fourth, with Mendez closing fast in fifth place. Mendez showed in previous rounds that he's very good in these cars. Eighth, and then sixth, is Juha Boss. Seventh, Wilkes. Eighth, Dolan. Ninth, Centorami, and 10th, Tim Hillett. Nilsson is now under attack from Mendez, so this is going to be really interesting here. Mendez seems to have the faster car. Is he going to be able to? Oh, he's definitely looking like he's going to overtake Nilsson here. Yes, he is. He zips by on the inside to take fourth place. I don't think he intended on squeezing in there. It's just the car tends to lurch under braking. Nilsson trying to get some purchase there on the inside, but it looks like Mendez has got him for the moment. Shlapinski in third. Now you see here's the problem. People are starting to lap other cars. Nilsson is alongside Grant. Is he going to take the lead? Yes, he is. Or Kirsten, sorry. Kirsten now takes the lead. But here comes Grant on the outside. Is he going to take the lead back? Yes, he is. Grant takes the lead back from Kirsten, but I'm sure this isn't over yet. They're heading for the hairpin at the other end of the circuit, starting at lap number 17. And Kirsten now looking to get the lead back as they head into the hairpin, but Grant Riddall's on the inside. Man, he lights up those tires. Kirsten has better purchase on the inside. Can he grab the lead before they get to the next turn? No, he's going to duck inside. So a good battle for the lead right now between Grant Riddall and Nicholas Kirsten. And waiting in the wings back there in case something happens is Cesare Shlapinski, as they're now closing on the Lotus Europa of Bruno Chacon. Now heading into, look at this, Kirsten having a look. Heading into the last turn. But one, there's this little fade right here. And look at Shlapinski, he's starting to close on Kirsten also. heading down towards the hairpin. I'm sure that Bruno is going to make plenty of room for them when they get there. Start to lap him. Look at Ślepinski looking on the inside, almost touches Kirsten. Kirsten loses momentum there by losing the back end. That might help Ślepinski. No, he's not going to be able to overtake now, but Kirsten has to watch that oversteer. Not only is that going to take momentum away from the car, but it could also burn up his tires. He doesn't want that to happen either. Yeah, Ślepinski most definitely trying to find a way around Kirsten now. Heading towards the second hairpin. Grant still in the lead. Nicholas Kirsten in second place. Third is Ślepinski. Fourth is Mendez. Fifth, Nilsson. And Nilsson is now, that's a car I believe that he's put Bouchard a lap down. The next car after him would be Boss. So here's Grant lapping Chacon, and as I expected, Chacon's making plenty of room for them. He doesn't want to spoil their race by being in the way unwittingly. And now the drivers are heading towards the right-left combination. And Grant seems to be in pretty good control of this race. All the action has been happening behind him, and he's been keeping the car relatively clean. So no concerns for him so far, although here comes Nicholas Kirsten down the inside. He takes the lead away from Grant. Now is Grant going to be able to get it back on the inside? Kirsten accelerates. Grant is on the inside now, and Grant is going to be scored as the leader at the line, I believe. Yes, but Kirsten is still right with him there and almost alongside. He might make another attempt to overtake as they get to the hairpin here. Downshifting for the hairpin. Kirsten takes an outside line, but Grant is on the inside, maintains the lead. Oh, a little bit of a tap there from Kirsten as Grant kind of faded to the right there. Kirsten takes the lead once again, going into the right-left combination. Great racing here among these two. BMW versus Ford. But it's all predicated on how well you can get out of these hairpins. If you can get good purchase and someone else does not, you have a great chance at overtaking them by the time you get to the other end of the track. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time. So Kirsten is now solidly into the lead. He's been in the lead before, off and on, but it's been basically Grant's race up until this point. Now, Kirsten has a firm grasp of the lead. And it's going to be up to Grant to try to find a way back by him. And at the same time, Ślepinski is closing on these two. 21 cars still in the race at this point. We've lost 3. And one, Cale McKeel's is 7 laps down apparently because of repairs that had to be made. Yeah, if you need to have any repairs done during this race for a lost bodywork or something, your race is effectively run. Kirsten downshifting for the second to last turn. Grant turning in. This is the view from Grant's car. He is following our leader, Nicholas Kirsten. Downshifting. So at some point, tires are going to start to be an issue in this race as far as like wear. But I think at this point, we're about midway through the race. Oh, Alberto Aquino is out of the race. What happened there, I'm not sure. Let's have a look here, see if we can tell. It looks like he's lost some parts and pieces. Back quite a ways here. I think we'll just have to assume based on what we see, he's lost pieces there. So, and there's a pit stop being made now by Bouchard, which is going to put him way down the order. Kirsten's lead is ballooned now to a little over half a second. The race is about halfway over. It is halfway over. Kirsten drifting that car beautifully through the last turn there. I think there's probably a higher likelihood that Schlapinski is going to get by Grant before the end here, but these three definitely close together. And then Mendez, he's very far back from the group ahead of them. Actually, no, he's closing. You can see that they were just in the shot there for a minute. Yeah, he is closing slowly on Schlapinski, so it could become a four-car battle before this race is over. Nilsson in fifth. He's considerably further back. And then you have this massive gaggle of cars with Wilkes in the middle here, battling with Liam Dolan once again, looking on the inside but can't get it done. Some cars in this mixture are lapped cars, like the Europa there. So Dolan is back by Wilkes again. Heading into the second hairpin. Looking back from Richard Wilkes' car at Centorami. It's a pretty good battle here between Centorami and Wilkes and other cars here as they come through the hairpin. Uh-oh, there's a yellow flag up here. Not sure what that's about. Some kind of accident. I don't see one. Kirsten still leading. Grant in second. Third is Cesarius Schlapinski. And look at Mendez closing in on this group now. Mendez is getting closer all the time. There he is, looking at Schlapinski. So I definitely think this is going to be a four-car battle soon, which will make for a really, really interesting finish. Dolan now starting to close in on Juha Boss as they exit the first turn. Dolan drifting this car through the right-left combination. Is he going to have a shot here at the end of the straight? Doesn't look like it, but he's definitely right with Boss as they come through. Wilkes has dropped back a bit. Dolan tucks in behind with Juha Boss. Heading down the front straightaway now. Dolan tries to stick his nose there. Now he's too far back. It's not going to happen this time. Here are the leaders once again. And actually Grant is closer this time, but so is Schlapinski. Heading into lap number 28. And there's a definite roll here that Grant has. Looks like he's going to have a shot. Maybe. Part of the problem is trying to get the car hauled to a stop. And look at Kirsten runs a little bit wide. Is this going to be the chance for Grant? Grant now has a little bit more of a roll. Kirsten taking a defensive line into the corner. Here's Grant looking. Oh my goodness, Grant actually touched the barrier there on the outside. Hopefully didn't do any damage to his car. He actually ran into the concrete there, so I don't know if that's hurt his car in any way. He's fallen back a little bit from Kirsten. Oh, he has! That has caused damage to Grant's car. He's lost his front wing. His front air dam is gone. So that is going to be costly to him. Now he's going to have a lot less downforce in the front. The car's going to plow. And that means Ślepinski has got an excellent opportunity to overtake Grant. In fact, look at how fast he is coming down the straightaway. I don't know if he can see from his vantage point the problem that Grant is having, and he's lost that piece. But Ślepinski now definitely has an opportunity to move up to second place here in his Karl-Heinz Becker number 13, 320. But Grant is a very talented driver. He may still be able to bring that car home in second place, even with the damage that he incurred there. But you can see it's very difficult to bring these cars to a stop in a straight line. They seem to want to go every which way. They're very twitchy when you're braking hard. So I think that's what happened. It happened to Ray Rodal when we saw him nose into the wall earlier, and it kind of happened to Grant there under braking. His car just kind of pitched to the left into the barrier, and it was enough for him to lose his front wing. Downshifting now. Ślepinski definitely is the faster car here, but he's being held up, I think, a little bit by Grant, and that's playing right into the hands of Mendez, who you can see in the mirror behind them, who also wants to get a podium finish. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. Here comes Ślepinski almost had him there, but he just not getting it done. He's trying to accelerate as hard as he can out of that corner, but all right, now he probably has him. Looking out the window here, and there he goes. Up alongside and should be able to get through. Yes, actually, it looks as if Grant touched the wall there too. Similar to what happened to his dad, Ray. So both Rodals not having a good time today, as far as the and Mendez makes it through too. So now we have Grant dropped all the way down to fourth place. Kirsten still in the lead, about ready to lap Claudio Augusto. So can Mendez improve on his third place? I think he probably can, because he's definitely been one of the fastest cars in the track. I wouldn't be surprised if we call up the lap chart after the race is over and find that he had the fastest lap of the race. I wouldn't be surprised in the least. So 32 laps now we're into. Watching Mendez as he closes in. You can see how much Grant is struggling with his car there. Trying to make that corner without that front end must be really, really difficult. Not only on him, but on the tires as well. Dolan closing in on Boss here, going to the hairpin, but still a bit too far back to make any kind of attempt. And it appears that, interesting. Oh, Wilkes has dropped all the way down to 10th, and it appears that he also has lost a front end. Yes, he has. He has lost his front wing on his car. So a lot of people suffering from body damage in this race. I said that it was going to be close quarters combat, or close quarters action in the preview that we put on Instagram, and this definitely has turned out to be living up to advanced billing. Here's Dolan. He's right with Boss now. Let's see if he makes an attempt. It's probably too far back to do so. Yeah, too far back. There you see Ślepinski and Mendez, how close they are together. And Mendez definitely staying right with him. Kirsten in the front. Starting lap number 34, 12 laps to go. Ślepinski taking it. Actually, there, Mendez made it by. Let's take a look at how he did it. This is a replay coming into the hairpin. Did he simply just drive by? He took an outside line, actually. Schlipinski was using a defensive line, and it didn't matter. Mendez just drove right by into second place. Now, is there enough time for Mendez to get first place? We'll see. He's definitely got a number of laps ahead of him, so he's got some time. Look from Kirsten's car back to Mendez. Mendez could very well end up being at the front when this is over. Retirements to this point now are David Yunt, Johnny Aces, Ray Rodal, Jules Bouchard, Alberto Aquino, Cale McKeels, Matthew Sibignani, and Giovanni Santarami. And despite his aerodynamic handicap, Grant Rodal is soldiering on in fourth place. He has a pretty decent gap between himself and Nilsson and Boss, so hopefully he can soldier home to points finish. At least that's what he'd like to do. But you can see how close Mendez is getting. Mendez, this track really suited to his car and his driving style, apparently, because he's just carving his way through this field. He's up 6 places from where he started. And Nicholas Kirsten up 3 places from where he started. But Mendez definitely is right there, just waiting for the right moment to attack. Coming down to the hairpin. Could it be now? No. He decides not to take that opportunity right now. But he is definitely there, and definitely has the machinery to do battle with Kirsten should the opportunity present itself. Lap 36 now. Final turn. So Kirsten has driven a fantastic race to this point. Did great battle early on with Grant Rodal. Now heading into... Oh, goodness! Look, Kirsten got loose there, and that's going to help Mendez. Because when you slide like that, it looks spectacular, but it is not the fastest way around the circuit in some cases, especially not when you accelerate out of a hairpin. And right now, Mendez clips the barrier just a little bit there, but I don't think he damaged the car. Here they come, and they're about to arrive at some more lapped traffic. Downshifting now for the last hairpin. There's Kirsten in the lead. Mendez is in second. Accelerating out of the hairpin, fading a little bit to the left, and now down the straightaway. Here's Mendez's chance. Is he going to take it? Goes to the outside. We've seen outside passes work before. They turn in. No. Accelerating out of the hairpin. And look at Mendez. He's coming up alongside Kirsten. I think he's going to take him here. Is he going to? Maybe not. Kirsten on the inside protects his line, keeps in the lead, but they're still side by side. Mendez goes into the lead. Ricardo Mendez takes the lead for the first time in this race, but Kirsten is not going to let him get away, I'm sure. Looking just slightly on the inside there. There's Schlipinski in third place behind this group. Ricardo Mendez leads the race. Looking back now at Kirsten, you can see there's Schlipinski not too far behind. On lap 39 now, and look at this, down the inside. Wow! Kirsten sends it, but is Mendez going to be able to take the lead once again? It looks as if he is, and he's ideally placed. No! Kirsten slides his way through, takes first place again. My goodness. Kirsten really going all out to maintain his lead. But then here comes Mendez back on the inside. into the second hairpin. Look at this fantastic scrap. Mendez in the lead once again. Kirsten still with him. There's only a few laps to go now. This is fantastic stuff. And there's Schlapinski right with this group in case something happens. Mendez has pulled out a significant gap now. Kirsten might have overcooked his tires there. Here they are heading through the first hairpin. Mendez in the lead. Kirsten is in second. Looking back from Mendez's rear wing. At the end of this, there'll be 5 laps to go. Heading into the, oh, look at, oh, Kirsten overcooks it, nearly runs into Mendez, trying to regain the lead. My goodness. And the person who benefits there is Schlapinski because he gets to close in on Kirsten. Kirsten's tires, I'm sure, are not in the best of shape right now. So if a challenge is going to be mounted by Schlapinski, the time would be now. There's Grant soldiering on in 4th place. You still can't see Nielsen, so I think if Grant can keep the car pointed straight, he should be all right. Kirsten here, looking like he's ready to attack Mendez once again as they go around Simon Watman. Simon Watman on the right there. Kirsten threading by. Look at them pushing their cars to the limit through that hairpin. Mendez knows that Kirsten's right there, and he'll try practically anything to get that lead back. Second hairpin now. And Kirsten looking on the inside there, but nothing doing. Nick Holliday just ahead of this group. He's getting out of the way. Starting lap number 43, so there are 3 laps to go. And Holliday is now between Kirsten and Schlapinski, so that gives him a little bit of breathing room there. Look at him saw at the wheel there just to keep it under control. Heading down towards the final turn. Left-hander. Kirsten definitely trying to position himself for another shot at the lead here. 2 laps to go this time by. And my goodness, Schlapinski has dropped right back. He's almost 3 seconds behind this group now, or 2 now. Into the hairpin once again. Kirsten using the curb there. Right. Left. Mendez pulling out a bit of a lead here, so it looks like it may come down to the final lap here. Well, it will. It'll have to. But what a great race Ricardo Mendez has driven. One lap to go. Mendez in the lead. It looks like he's turned up the boost a little bit here, but he's definitely, there's one of the last chances that Kirsten will have to overtake him. The next one will be at the other end of the circuit. Mendez in the lead. Kirsten second, Slupinski third. Oh, and, well, Grant, I'm sorry, that's Watman. I was thinking that was, no, Nilsson is in fifth. Moss in sixth. He's lost his front end again. Saber and Dolan battling here, going into the hairpin. And Dolan, that's a great fight, but we got to go back to the win here. Is Kirsten going to get by? No, he is not. A fantastic run. And the checkered flag there comes out for Ricardo Mendez, who has won this race at the Norisring. Fantastic result for him. Second place, Nicholas Kirsten. Third, Josh Lipinski. Fourth, Grant Radall with a damaged car. Fifth, Anders Nilsson, if he can come across the line, which I'm sure he will. Great result for him. More points for the championship. Sixth will be Boss, missing his front wing. Seventh, David Saber, missing his front wing. Dolan is going to be eighth as he crosses the line. Ninth, Tim Hilla. 10th, Watman. He was already a lap down. 11th, Brian Janik, just out of the points. David Watman, 12th. 13th, Claudio Augusto. 14th. That's a pretty good finish for the Europas for Bruno Chacon. 15th, Nick Holiday. 16th, Richard Wiltz. 17th, Giovanni Centrami. 18th, Matthew Sibignani. These are the DNFs. 19th is Bouchard, then Cam McKeels, Alberto Aquino, Ray Riddall, Jonathan Assercliffe, David Yunt. Ricardo Mendez is first, of course, and here he comes into Parc Fermé. A very happy man indeed, I'm sure. But a fantastic run, fantastic win for Mendez. He was the class of the field, up 7 positions from his start position. Fantastic run for him. So let's go to the trivia question now. The trivia question is, who holds the Group 5 race lap record for 2.3 kilometer version of the Norisring? Is it A, Rolf Stommelin, B, Mark Scherer, or is it C, Hans Heyer? Time's up. Barry Lynn is saying Hans Heyer. Wait for some other people to say what their guess is going to be. Guess we're only going to get one guess here, Hans Heyer. So, well, sorry, Barry Lynn. Wrong. It's not the right answer. The correct answer is Rolf Stommelin in 1979 in a Porsche 935J. That was obviously a lap turned in Group 1, or sorry, Division 1, not Division 2, which is what we are running. All right. So thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to have to cut this short because I have an appointment to keep. But thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget that we have next week IndyCar racing. Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200 presented by Texaco. Round 3 of 15. Sunday, March 9th. Green flag at 2000 CET. And then we have on Sunday, March 16th, round 5 of this series, the DRM Division 2 series, the ADAC Trophy. Was my very poor German accent, Zandvoort, which will be starting at 2000 CET, and I'll have the broadcast of that for you. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Everybody take care, and please be safe.